Okay. Well, it looks like my camera is not working. This is awesome. Wow. Well, let's hear it for OBS Studio, I guess, for fucking up here. I don't know why. We're starting off today's live stream epically. Can everybody see me? Can everyone at least hear me? Does everyone see me at all? Because I gotta tell you, wow, this is terrible. You gotta love these fucking window updates. That's the issue. Today's live stream epic. Can everybody see me? Can everyone at least hear me? Does everyone see me at all? Okay, so apparently, I don't know, there's some issue with you. Well, we're getting off to a smooth start here on All in the Charts. If this is your first time tuning in, I am actually technologically savvy and I know how to do these things. Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God. This is All in the Charts. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Show a little love for who seems like an old man CBG. Drop a comment. You gotta subscribe and click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live. Guys, it's Friday. It's Friday. And on this Friday, I have a nice, pretty tall glass. That's the only glass I'm drinking. Pretty tall glass of Angel's Envy bourbon whiskey. If you guys have ever had that, if you enjoy bourbons, if you enjoy whiskey, check out Angel's Envy. Very good. And in this glass, you can see it is chilled. But they're not ice. They're actually metallic cubes to stick in the freezer. Thank you for that Christmas gift to one of my young little actuarial students when I worked for my former employer. So, cheers. Yes, Josh, it is. Man, that's good. Yes, Josh, it is. By the way, for anybody who was paying attention, when I went live, or, when I went live when I was visiting my family and I was in Pennsylvania, I bought that Pennsylvania bourbon. Whew, that shit was harsh. It was brutal. So my brother ended up getting it because he wanted to try it since he saw my comments. He attested that was some vicious, awful stuff. Let's see who we have in here today. We got Josh. Let's fucking go. Happy Friday indeed. Anyone else love how H-Bar keeps ticking off billions in transactions like it's nothing? 3 billion a month run rate. Yeah, I mean, from a fundamental perspective, and that's why, Josh, to that point, I do not trade H-Bar. I own H-Bar, and I own what I consider to be a hefty stack of H-Bar. That's one of the altcoins that even if we were to have a conversation, which we usually don't do on this channel, but if we were to have a conversation, you said, well, what projects, let's say hypothetically that you didn't sell anything when everything runs up. Let's say that the markets, when they do top off, let's say they top off in relatively some sort of fashion to what you see. I am planning on selling my H-Bar. But let's say hypothetically you decided to just hold some projects for the long term and you didn't want to sell anything off because you felt that they would be very good long-term holds. H-Bar would be in that small category for sure. Welcoming Kathleen, nice to see you. Everybody can hear and see me. I saw that on my phone. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but I can't see in my window anything here. So glad to see that you guys can hear me and see me. By the way, if you're new to the channel, you can find me on Twitter. You can obviously find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram for some gym stuff, motivation, and trading view as well. I make it really easy on you. It's one word. It's Crypto Bull God. I've seen some impersonation accounts out there, Crypto Bull Gods, Crypto Bull God _. No, it's just Crypto Bull God. There's a few things I own that are Crypto Bull God. I own the domain Crypto Bull God. I have a Gmail account, Crypto Bull God. I have Twitter. I have not gone on Threads. And I don't know that I ever plan to go on Threads. So, fun fact for this weekend. Curious to see if anyone's willing to share what they're doing this weekend, if they have any fun plans. I really don't have anything at the moment. I actually have a lot of crypto-related things I'm going to be doing this weekend. Shocker. Two of which I recently, and I think I shared this with you guys, BCK. Thank you to BCK for making a recommendation on the cold wallet. I have a Safe Pal now in my possession, and I also have an Ellie Pal, both cold storage. And so I want to get those things set up, and I want to get familiar with both of those. Interesting that both wallets have the name Pal in them. Speaking of Pal, which my father, it's just hitting me right now, my father actually used to call me that when I was a little kid. But you guys know Raul Pal? Really like listening to his thoughts on markets. I've spent quite a bit of time listening over and over again to his views on the everything code. If you're not familiar with that, look it up. Just so that the ideas would firmly be planted in my head in terms of how he views things. I like what he did on his one. It was basically an Ask Me Anything. It was basically a happy hour. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been on this channel for a while, but I used to do the Bitcoin crypto happy hour once a week. He pulled up a glass of Cavit and does not like Prosecco apparently, and some slivered almonds there with some olive oil and a touch of sea salt there. And I like those slivered almonds with rosemary on them. I think they go really well. But anyway, I want to, there's only so much content I can put out there. I guess I could turn one of these live streams into a happy hour. But I like the idea of like once a week doing like a happy hour. Who knows? Maybe sometime down the road when I'm a little bit more prominent in the space, putting out even more content. Maybe we'll firmly have a happy hour every week in place. But I like that idea, something that basically, doesn't even have to be chart related. You can just come on and ask me anything, and we can discuss. Let's see, what do I have open here? Oh, okay. Let's close out of that. All right, so let's get into the charts. What I'm going to do for today's price action is I'm going to talk about kind of where things are at. It's also important to keep in mind that we're going to have a monthly close on Monday. I've already indicated to everyone who was on the live stream yesterday that I do plan more than likely to live stream later than normal on Monday so that we can catch those monthly candlesticks. I think it's very important to see how July prints out for the markets. Of course, anytime you have enough price data and you go on those higher time frames, it's going to solidify in your mind in terms of how the market's looking versus looking at some of these lower time frames like a daily or even a 3-day chart. Okay, the monthly really provides a lot of guidance and navigation in terms of where we can see the markets going, so long as there's enough price data, right? So on that live stream, typically what we'll do is we'll focus on projects where there's enough price data, right? We're not going to look at Harmony One. We're not going to look at CASP on a monthly. It doesn't make any sense, although Harmony One actually might have enough price data at this point. Point is looking at tokens like a Bitcoin, an Ethereum, a Digibyte, a Litecoin, your Cardano's, your XRPs, your XLMs. It makes a lot more sense. So, and even some newer projects, quote unquote newer projects, subjective term in this space. We could certainly take a look at projects like Solana and Harmony One and HBAR as well, but we'll kind of see how the live stream goes. But that's what will be on deck for Monday. For today, just kind of wanted to set the stage in terms of what I see going on in the markets, what to look for this weekend, although, again, I'll be back with you on Monday. So, guys, for support, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Trying to get these live streams out to more people in the space so they can actually watch some logical content instead of a lot of the clickbait that I see out there. All right, so this is Bitcoin 12 hour. This is a chart we routinely look at. It has a lot of historical significance in it that I speak to. The only thing we're going to change on this chart, we're going to move this orange rectangle over because price just continues to consolidate in between this 29,600 area. This is something we've spent quite a bit of time talking about. I really no new updates over yesterday. Now, I don't need to... Actually, I'm going to point you to something because this is a little bit newer. There's been a lot of talk, and I know Tony had shared this when he was on the live stream on Wednesday. If you didn't check out the live stream from Wednesday, make sure you check that out because I think it's been the best live stream that I've put up inception to date for all in the charts. Now, this is a chart that Tech Dev, I'm friends with Tech Dev on here, another really nice guy, puts out solid content. Someone else I respect. I don't respect his work because some of his views may be bullish or similar to mine. That's not why. I respect his views because he takes a very grounded, logical look, right? So the key point here and what he's pointing out is, look what he says here. The 3-week altcoin market cap is at its tightest compression ever. And Bitcoin looks like this as well. So the point is, a lot of these charts, when you look at them, and you're sort of getting this market sentiment, it's something we spoke about on Wednesday. Man, especially for the day and age we live in, a lot of people are, they have very short attention spans, right? They're on the TikToks. They're on all these social media platforms. And so when the market starts doing this and it's just going sideways, this is really sort of like this Max Payne scenario. But also what this consolidation has done is on multiple charts, on multiple time frames. Oh, need to turn that indicator off. On multiple charts, on multiple time frames, what we're beginning to see are these Bollinger Bands compress. And if you don't know what a Bollinger Band is, man, I'm having a problem pronouncing that. The BB bands, all right? If you don't know what the BB bands are, Tony does a great job of explaining that on Wednesday's live stream. Just fast forward and get to that point during the live stream. But they're all compressing, and the volatility has been very low. In this market, okay, in cryptocurrency, volatility does not stay low for long extended periods of time. When volatility really does compress and it's very low, and the Bollinger Bands, basically the way to think about it, I'll steal a little bit of thunder for the video. It's standard deviations from a median line. Okay, you have a median line, you have standard deviations below and above, and it's compressing. That standard deviation, the deviation of price, for those who are not mathematically inclined, the deviation above the median line, the deviation below the median line, it's closing in and getting closer to that median line. And so price is just riding it, right? When we have a lot of volatility, these standard deviations can go very wide above and below the median line, right? That's not what we're seeing. And so because we've had this expanded period of time under which there's been low volatility at a historic rate, what that is telling us is something has to give. Something has to give. It does not necessarily need to break up, okay? There is a probability for everything. Yes, there's certainly a probability that we could have a massive breakdown, but everything that I've shared with you over the course of the past several months does not state that. The highest likelihood in this case, okay, is that we're going to see a big break to the upside. Now, you guys know that what I've really been targeting here for a while, and it just hasn't happened as quickly as I was anticipating. It's not bearish that it hasn't happened as quickly as I've anticipated. But what I've been anticipating is once we break this $31,000 area, once we start peeking our head above 32,000, 35,500 is going to come very quick in my educated opinion. There is going to be a significant 10% plus move in Bitcoin. Mark this down, me saying this, okay? There's going to be a 10% plus move in Bitcoin, in my opinion. It's going to bring the price at 35.5 and above. And it's still, when we're in this zone between 35 and 43, still retail is not going to be into Bitcoin. They're still not going to be into Bitcoin. Remember, it was kind of comical when Tony threw out the number 50,000, and I think he did that coincidentally. But I shared with you that my mother told me the same thing. When I shared with my mom, I don't like calling my mom mother. Mom. Mother's too formal. Mom. All right? Mom and dad. Father and mother. Fuck that. My mom, okay, she said to me when I brought up Bitcoin to her, CBG, I'm not interested in Bitcoin until it hits 50,000. Remember I said that. Remember I'm sharing that with you. That is the retail sentiment. There's not going to be a lot of FOMO buying in the $30,000 and $40,000 area. As Bitcoin starts to approach that psychological $50,000 area, I think that's when the news headlines are going to start to churn up, and eventually we'll start heading up towards the $60,000 and $70,000 mark. Of course, once we break this 69, that is what she said. 69 ain't too bad. 69,000, once we break 69,000 and we start heading up to $70,000 and above, that is when things are going to get very, very, very explosive. Real quick, did want to mention, we're going to take a look at some other charts. Don't worry, just real quick. CASP. Okay, I'm going to be putting up a video on this one. And this thing, I think I'm going to try to get this video out either Monday or Wednesday. But we could have some nice consolidation occurring here to some lower levels in this lower 3-cent area, possibly the high 2-cent area. But this thing, in my opinion, is setting up for a massive move up. We're about to create another new all-time high in CASP very soon. Again, I think a kindergartner can see this. You can just see these wave movements up, right? And now we've sort of double topped at this 4-cent area. Once this thing breaks, this almost looks like a cup and handle too. I wish I could pull up volume, but for some stupid reason, TradingView will not allow me to pull up volume. This to me sort of looks like a cup and handle formation, although I'd need the volume to sort of solidify that idea. We sort of have a rounding top, and now we're starting to get maybe a handle before a massive break to the upside. I think it, in my opinion, assessing the strength in this chart since year to date, I think it's just a matter of time until you see CASP at 10 cents plus. I think it's going to happen very quickly, especially as momentum begins to pick up in the market. This is one of these projects that I'm very excited about for multiple reasons beyond the technicals, the fundamentals as well. I really like what I'm reading on the fundamentals. But as far as the technicals are concerned, the fact that this thing has done so well as other crypto projects have been stagnating, when the market begins to really pick up, I think this thing is going to accelerate very quickly. And I think it has the potential to shock a lot of people, like the shock master. For all of those of you who are old enough as myself and remember the Shockmaster from WCW. Now, the first video I do plan on putting out, technical analysis video that I'm currently working on right now, actually, and I hope to have, I might have this thing actually out tomorrow. I'm behind on my TA videos this week because I was visiting my family. But Quant is really the project I'm most interested in. I actually just doubled my trade position today. Yesterday. I doubled my trade position yesterday. I have what I would consider a significant swing trade play in this project. I think this thing is staged to really explode up in value relatively shortly. It's been in this triangular correction for, nearly a year now. And I think people have really lost sight of how explosive this thing has gotten in the past. I think it has been correcting for a long enough period of time. I think the market in crypto is going to be picking up towards the end of the summer, going into the fall, and this really is primed to go well above $200 in my opinion, and very quickly double, triple, quadruple in size. So I'll get into that in the TA video. You can see I was taking a look at DigiByte. Real quick, Ned, if you are on, Chris Daly knows the Shockmaster. Ding, ding, ding. Because he is going to shock the world. Guys, if you don't know who the Shockmaster is, you don't need anything else. Go to YouTube after this live stream, or pull up another window and Google or YouTube, search on YouTube, Shockmaster. It's probably all you need to do. Shockmaster WCW. Quite an entrance for Tugboat, aka Shockmaster, aka I don't know what else, part of the natural disasters. All right, when wrestling was good. Ned, if you are on the live stream, you don't have to jump in the comments. It's all good. But you know what? After the live stream ended yesterday, you had asked me about Smooth Love Potion. You know what? CBG needs a little bit in his life. I need a little bit of this love potion in my life. But one of the things I had pointed out, several things in this chart, but one of the things I neglected to point out in this chart, and I wanted to update you on this, Ned. Nick, pump Nick's bags, please. Nick needs his bags pumped. We all need our bags pumped. One of the things, in all seriousness, Ned, I neglected to share with you, and I was looking at this morning. I slept in this morning, by the way. Guys, me sleeping in is 5:45. I slept until 5:45. It's fucking crazy. I was looking at this on the daily. Typical with chart setups like this where you've been in a long downtrend, and we did try to look for some bullish divergence yesterday. I didn't go to a small enough time frame, and that's my error yesterday. I do apologize for that, Ned. You even gave me a super chat. But for a chart setup like this, if you're looking for some sort of trend reversal, commonly what you want to do is go to a smaller time frame and look for some of that bullish divergence that can often develop on the RSI. What is bullish divergence? Typically what happens with a bullish divergence is the price is either going sideways like this or it's actually going down as the relative strength index, the RSI, is increasing in value. That means that strength is building in the price. I look like a meteorologist. strength is building in the price as the price is just going down or consolidating and going sideways. And I am seeing that on the daily for sure. I mean, I'm clearly seeing that on the daily. You can see as price is consolidating in this area, I clearly have drawn that the RSI is increasing. Also, the other interesting thing is on the stochastic RSI, this is also increasing, and we're sort of formulating a wedge pattern here. So Ned, I wanted to build on the analysis. This is just for you, buddy. I wanted to build, notice I don't say bud. I hate the fucking word bud. Buddy. You notice that the stochastic RSI is also coiling up in here. This thing might pop soon. And by soon, I mean, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The word soon is subjective. Let's take a look at some of my watch lists here and have a conversation about some things that would be important to look at based on price developments and where we see things. We see Harmony 1, we see H-bar. Not getting too excited about Harmony 1. I need to, not getting too excited about Harmony 1 until I see that thing over 3 cents and nothing there. H-bar, I need to see that thing over 9-10 cents. Nothing really exciting there. Mana, yeah, I'm not getting excited until we get closer to $1. Same with Sandbox. Chili's is way down, nothing there. Digibyte, give me something over 1.4 cents, 1.5 cents. Shiba Inu, another meme coin making a run. Doge, we just looked at that. Okay, let's look at some of the traditional markets. One of the things I think I had shared with you on a prior live stream recently is it amazes me how quickly people they sometimes come to a conclusion without actually doing their due diligence. Yes, Bitcoin and crypto are lagging traditional markets, but again, I want to reiterate this because you will hear something to the contrary on some channels. They are positively correlated. They follow one another. It doesn't mean that every single day they move in the same exact direction or with the same momentum. Right now, for the past several months, crypto has been lagging the traditional markets. Keep in mind what I said at the top of the live stream concerning the tightening of the Bollinger Bands, the BB bands, as well as the low volatility. And in my opinion, how we're due for a spike up. If we get that spike up in price like I believe we're going to, obviously that lag in recognition for price appreciation in crypto relative to traditional markets, that's going to close. It's going to strongly narrow. You can actually see that if you pull up a chart and you overlay them. I think Tony actually looked at this on Wednesday. You can actually see how that sort of happened in 2020 going into 2021. That same sort of little bit of a lag, and then Bitcoin and crypto farly outpaced the traditional markets. So I am definitely waiting for the same thing to happen. Let's pull up, I think something that would be important to look up. Look at the NASDAQ, up almost 2% today. Wow. Jesus. I mean, guys. Now, this is not, last week was not, and this was something that was, a little bit, I wouldn't call it concerning, but gave me pause to say we could get some sort of a correction here. And again, I don't need to know the name of this candlestick. We sort of had a discussion about this the other day. I don't need to know the name of this candlestick if it's a shooting star. I think someone pointed that out. It might have been Greg or it might have been Greg. I'll get the Tau. We already looked at Trias. Greg, we looked at Trias. You had asked me about that, so we don't need to look at that. But I did not look at Tau, so we'll take a look at that today, and I apologize for not getting to that earlier. You literally probably copy and pasted me the same comment, so I apologize, Greg, a.k.a. Black Oil. Oh, you're not the same Greg as Black Oil. Yeah, so maybe this is a shooting star, but basically the formation of this candlestick gave me pause because there's a medium-sized red body with buyer exhaustion at the top here, this wick, giving me pause to say we could see some form of a correction here. It hasn't come in yet, although what's going to make me think that that's not going to happen is taking out this top right here. Okay, so this top right here. Oh, how do I do this again? I have to practice. How to make these straight lines. Undead Bitcoin or Undead Bones, whatever the hell your name is. I appreciate it. I give you a follow on Twitter too because I appreciated the shortcuts on TradingView. I have to practice. We got to take out this top here on NASDAQ. It's at 15,932. But we've had a strong week. This is actually, I mean, let's take a look here. We closed the week at 15,751. And we really just need to start pushing above. I mean, really, you want to see the NASDAQ. Let's keep it stupid simple, like I always do on this channel. Let's start to see the NASDAQ push above 16,000, okay? We're 250 points shy of that, all right? Now, I believe the 2-week candlestick is going to close, right? Yeah. We're going to get a 2-week candlestick. This is a 2-week candlestick close. I mean, look at this thing. Again, I don't understand. When you look at this chart, I love how I get spam calls. This is a spam call. Hey, what's up? This is CBG. I'm doing a live stream right now. If you want to tune in to All in the Charts, feel free to tune in. You can find me at Crypto Bull God on YouTube. Appreciate it. Bye. All right. I get spam calls. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys get spam calls. I do. Guys, when you evaluate this chart, and we can see the high here at 16,764, okay? Look at where we're at right now. We have to move up. I just want everyone to look at this, and you can make your own assertion. I love that word ascertain. Have you noticed I use the word ascertain a lot? You can ascertain whatever you want from this. We literally have to make... We have to make a 6.6% move to get to all-time highs, guys. Now, I have wrong calls and I have right calls. Just like with the interest rate decision, I was absolutely incorrect. They went ahead and raised 25 basis points, okay? They went ahead and raised their 0.25%. I still stand behind my analysis that it was statistically less probable that was going to happen, but I was incorrect. I was 100% wrong. And perhaps if I was an economist and deep dove more into some of the specifics of what's going on today versus things in the past, maybe I would have concluded something differently. But at a high level, looking at when the Federal Reserve pauses interest rates, it was much higher of a statistical likelihood that the next course of action after several months of pausing would be a decrease. But I was incorrect. I get wrong calls. Like, it's going to happen, guys. There is no technical analyst that's going to get 100% of calls correct. But I have no idea where I was going with that. This is what happens when you live stream. Sometimes you lose your train of thought. But the point is, where I was going here is we are 6.6% away from all-time highs. So you either believe there's only 3 scenarios at this point. Scenario 1 for the NASDAQ is we create a lower high. Okay, this is a possibility. We create a lower high, okay, lower high, and we just roll over and roll over. Scenario 2 is we double top up at 16,800. Scenario 3, which I believe, now I know what I was going to say, is we create new all-time highs this year, or hell as early as early next year. What I wanted to tell you is who has been here since mid to late 2022, telling you that no matter how grim things looked, no matter how many orgy fests that Sam Bankman-Fried had in FTX. With his girlfriend, which, my God, I would not want to image that. No matter what was going on in the market, new all-time highs 2023. Bitcoin, new all-time highs 2023. Traditional stock markets, new all-time highs 2023. We are 6.6% away from that in the NASDAQ. And if you believe, and final point before I get to your TA questions here, because I see there are a few coming in that I want to address. And I know XDC, Kathleen, that has had a massive move. Hey, I wish I would have gotten into that 3 cents, but 30 cents or 3 cents. We'll have to take a look at it. I forget which valuation it's at. That's my loss, though, you know. But anyway, I know what I was going to say. If you think that traditional markets like the NASDAQ are going to make a new all-time high, and Bitcoin, which is lumped in the technology sector, if you don't think that Bitcoin and the rest of the market is going to go ballistic and they're not going to make new all-time highs too, like, you are literally living under a rock. When the NASDAQ, I want you to, one last point and we're going to get off the NASDAQ. As the NASDAQ, what do you think is going to happen to market sentiment as we do this? Maybe we correct here, and then we do this, and then we continue going higher. What do you think that market sentiment will be in this range? Color-coded this orange for the orange coin, okay? What do you think market sentiment will be like here? Two things. One, I missed out on the move. My fund manager didn't have a fucking clue what they were doing, keeping me out of the markets and deleveraging me and keeping me risk off. They told me the entire 2023 was going to be some massive correction, and I've missed out on a... I've missed out on a, at that point, 52% move to new all-time highs, guys. Okay? Number two, new entrants. New people that are just, I mean, not the people that are salty about not being in, but the people that are looking in saying everything is peachy and rosy. Everything that I'm hearing must be incorrect about being worrisome about the economy. The stock market's doing great. I need to plow all my money in there. There's going to be FOMO, and that FOMO means there's going to be a risk-on environment. And if there is a risk-on environment, which asset has historically continually outpaced traditional markets? It's right here. It's orange coin. It's the corn. It's Bitcoin. Okay? And it's crypto. And your altcoins are going to massively outperform Bitcoin in an alt season. History does not repeat, but it often rhymes, guys. Okay? That is what is going to transpire. I think there was one last point I wanted to make, but that's really the... Boy, Chris, you are really... This Chris Daly guy, he is really into the XLM to the moon. You know, Chris Daly, just for you, we're going to... This is my imaginary pencil. I'm gonna make an XLM video just for you. All right? That's how much I appreciate your viewership. Now give me a thumbs up because you probably haven't. All right, what else we got going on here? Okay, so we got Tao. I'm gonna chart Tao. I'm gonna chart XDC. Ricky DeSantos. Hey, brother. I've seen you in here before. Thank you for your comment. Let's see what you got going on here. Hi, CBG. What are your thoughts on the ETF BTC spot black? Wow. I literally have had none of this bourbon. Just can't speak. It's been a long day. I actually have had a pretty busy day today. Not a long, bad day. Just busy. Also, real quick, before I read your question, actually, you know what? It's been a little bit of a frustrating day. So, as you guys know, I'm definitely not going into everything. But as you guys know, pretty challenging year for me last year. Didn't go into specifics. It's personal information. But, you know, just a lot of health-related stuff, right? And I said that the hospital system, very frustrating. Well, I had some other health stuff come up this year. It's like, you know, you can eat well, you can exercise the hell out of yourself, you can never put questionable substances in your body, take care of yourself, and sometimes shit just happens. It's called genetics. And so... Unfortunately, a lot of what I've had to deal with the healthcare system has not ended. I still have something going on, something I'm working through. And I was on the phone with the hospital. And I got to tell you, the one department, like, no, not... there's really good people that work in the healthcare field, so I actually want to be careful about what I say here. But I will just say in general, there's very good people who work in the healthcare system. So actually, on a serious note, I do not want to make a blanket statement about any industry because I know what that feels like. But I will say that it is challenging and it's been disheartening in many ways, unfortunately, working through the healthcare system. Very much. It's been very difficult. More difficult than it should be. I'm a pretty logical person. I feel I have solid communication skills. I tend to paraphrase things back to people after they say something to me so that I understand what they're saying, that I didn't miss anything. Just very challenging and a frustrating experience that I'm still dealing with. Wow, Zcash, Greg. There is an old school OG coin. I would love to take a look at Zcash. CBG owns some Zcash. I own all the OG coins, literally like all of them, perhaps except maybe a couple I don't own, but most of them I own. Okay, getting back to Ricky's question. Vivek, by the way, I appreciate the positive feedback. Thank you very, very much. I genuinely come out here and Trying to help everyone out, so I appreciate that. Hi, CBG. What are your thoughts on the ETF BTC Spot BlackRock application? Doesn't it seem weirdly open for the current crypto market sentiment? So I don't know what you mean by doesn't it seem weirdly open for the current crypto market sentiment, but I will tell you this. I will give my thoughts on it. I'll give you a hell yeah, Greg. Anybody says hell yeah, I say hell yeah, hell yeah. So what I would say about the ETF application is I'll give you the fundamental view, and then I'll give you the how it's going to play out in the charts view, in my opinion. The fundamental view is you know that if something becomes successful financially, greedy people are going to want to have a part of it. They will say what they want to say to dismiss it. They'll laugh at you. They'll ignore it. But then when they know that money is chasing that, BlackRock and other institutions like Vanguard would be stupid to not allow their clients to get into cryptocurrencies. It's not just going to be Bitcoin. It's going to be Ethereum. It's going to be XRP. It's going to be other big crypto projects, okay? But I was going to name a couple others, but I'll shy away from that. But the point is, it's called greed, and they want their hand in there because so that quickly the tune changes, right? And given what the purpose of Bitcoin was, honestly, there's a part of me that says, "Oh, great, there's that narrative, and there's money flooding in, and it's good for my, financial investments." But the other part of me doesn't like it one bit. Honestly, doesn't like it one bit because that's kind of goes counterintuitive to a lot of the purpose behind the project. That's honestly how I feel about it. But with that being said, from a technical basis, I always have told you guys, and I shared this while Tony was on, and I was curious to see if he felt similar, and he does feel similar. I believe that the news follows the charts. Now, we've spent quite a bit of time talking about this low volatile period, right? It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. Just like XRP, I had shared with you guys. XRP looked coiled to make a big move. And what happened? It went from 47 cents or 48 cents up to 96 cents. Okay? So, and that was because of the lawsuit news. Well, okay, the news followed the charts. Yes, the news, that catalyst event happened and then the price exploded. Bitcoin looks like it wants to fucking explode. All right? I was gonna make a crude joke, but we're gonna stay away from that. I'm not that deep into my bourbon. Wow, that almost came out of my mouth. We're not gonna say that. You can use your imagination. Let's think of an explosion. Right? I'm sorry, I'm going down the wrong path right now. Okay, collect yourself, CBG. You are live talking to some people that want to hear crypto and not crude jokes. Okay, let's get back on track. So the point is, the charts look like they just want to burst. I'm just going to keep coming out with the terminology. The charts look like they want to go up, okay? And what I believe about the BlackRock ETF news is that I think you're going to see your favorite YouTuber, hopefully not your favorite YouTuber, but your popular YouTuber, your popular Twitter account, they're going to be saying that BlackRock ETF news event was the catalyst that made the price go up. Well, we could argue over that, but the point is the news will follow the charts. I think at the same time that the price is exploding up in value, you're going to get some positive news catalysts like a BlackRock ETF. That's what I think. And that's going to be happening in your August, September timeframe. Great question. By the way, Ricky, I do seriously appreciate the question. Great question. So we got Zcash, we got XDC, and Tau. Okay, let's get to some charting here, and let's get out of the crude jokes. So I know that I have a Zcash chart. I might work backwards, actually. I don't know that I've looked at Zcash in a while. I have quite a few. Look at this. I have quite a few charts of Zcash. Wow, I haven't. Now, one of the things, guys, before I pull up a Zcash chart, I want you to see what I'm looking at here. You see these relativity values. These aren't all the typical relativity values that you might anticipate me looking at. But as you know, I like to custom create charts that add value to my trading or investment strategy. So you can see I have a Zcash Bitcoin relativity chart, a Zcash Ethereum relativity chart, an XLM Zcash relativity chart. So I really like to custom create charts. This does look like a recent chart. I'm not saying that it looks pretty. Okay, well, this isn't that bad. Haven't looked at this one in a while, though. Definitely, because green is support and red is resistance. Great question, Greg. I appreciate the question on Zcash. Russia will hit the Bitcoin. I don't know what the fuck that means, but welcome in. Whatever the hell that name is. Russia will hit the Bitcoin. Sorry, I have no idea, and I apologize. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Hopefully you get my humor. I have no idea. I'm going to call you NT. Your new name is NT, just like in the Transformers. Bumblebee became Goldbug, and you will be called Goldbug. Well, your new name is NT. Russia will hit the Bitcoin. I don't know. They're going to be hitting something. Let's take a look at Zcash. Now, this is on the 2-week chart. Now, Zcash has a significant amount of price history relative to a lot of other crypto projects. Guys, appreciate at least you have a good sense of humor. Thank you, NT. Appreciate the support, by the way, if you could hit the thumbs up. Look, guys, this Friday evening, you're joining me for a live stream. I very, very much appreciate the support, guys. There are a lot of more interesting things you could be doing on a Friday. But if you're geeking out like me and you enjoy this shit, this is about the most fun you're going to have all weekend. Let's be honest with ourselves. Come on. Let's be honest. All right. I'm going to go out tomorrow. I'm going to try and find something to do. You know, sometimes you got to get your mind off of stuff, you know? Like, you can't sit around and dwell on shit. It's not good. It's not healthy for you. All right, I'm going to take the auto scale off because of this massive candle there. So one of the first things, Greg, that I would point out on this channel, on this chart real quick, is you can see the massive downtrend here, right? So as the first thing I want to point out to you, as we begin to appreciate in value, you're going to face a massive area of resistance that looks like, honestly, the way I have the resistance drawn here, I just had this text conversation with someone. I always say to be honest, even though I'm an honest individual, to be honest with you. There is an area of resistance right here. You see this 176 area here? It's kind of lining up that based on how price moves here. You see how 176 and also our descending area of resistance is kind of lining up at that spot. When I see that on the chart, what that tells me is I think more than likely it's going to like line up almost perfectly that we're going to intersect both of these lines, and it's going to represent a massive area of resistance. Now, and I think Zcash, I do definitely believe Zcash is going to break well above 176, okay? But once we break 176, couple things to point out in the chart. First off, we're going to be breaking a massive area of downward resistance. But secondly, as we begin to break 176, the most likely it's not guaranteed, right? I told you guys that when Bitcoin, as an example, broke $20,000, it never backtested $20,000 on its way to 65, 69 eventually. Okay? 69. So it doesn't have to backtest the 176 area, but it's a logical area to get in if you miss the move up, okay? 176 is going to be a major area of price confluence to get above, in my opinion. Major area of resistance, okay? Now, the most obvious area of support we don't want to break down is this wick below. As we can see, Zcash... Unfortunately, Zcash has been one of the weaker altcoins, okay? And the reason I say that is it created a new low here. Look at how low Zcash went. It went all the way down to $21.50. But prior in 2022, we had only gone down to $33.56. It looked like even here it went down to $30. So we've continued to create these lows here. Not a lot of strength in the chart, Greg. Not a lot of strength in the chart. The thing I'm trying to illustrate here is that we continue going lower. I'm not seeing a lot of strength in the chart, right? And for me, to begin to restore some confidence, that I'm beginning to see a trend reversal to the upside. And notice I'm just going to focus on higher time frames here. We're not going to get into, I don't even want to get into price indicators. I just want to focus on the price action. For me to begin to restill some confidence in this chart that it's beginning to turn around, we need to begin to push up. Ultimately, you can see resistance I have painted here at 39.72 and 40, basically $40 and $48. I want to get up, I want to get up into this area, Greg. Every time I say Greg, I think of my buddy Greg. I haven't seen him in a long time. By the way, to my brother, if you are watching or listening to this live stream, how about next time I come home, I know what you explained to me. Let's try to get Greg. Let's try to get Greg out, because I haven't seen the black oil in a while. But basically, once we start to get up into this $48 area, that's when things will start to get a little bit more juicy and interesting. But for now, man, it is not. Look at this. More downward resistance here. Not good, okay? Look at this downward resistance. This is a shorter-term downward resistance, actually since August of 22, for a year. So even for a year now, look at this downward area of resistance on Zcash. Not pretty, my friend. Not pretty. Greg, you're not the same Greg I'm referring to. If you were the black oil, I would meet up with you in a heartbeat if you lived that closely. But you're in West Palm, so who the fuck knows? Maybe we can grab a beer sometime. There are a few people that are kind of close in the area that I've mentioned, and I'm like, why not grab a drink sometime? So, you know what? If you're serious about it, shoot me a DM. Maybe we can get something going on. Why the hell not? So, shoot me a DM. Maybe we can grab a drink sometime. But this is what I'm seeing in the chart. So really, I want to start getting above $48. As I always say, once we start getting above $48, come on back. You don't need to drop a super chat or anything like that. Just ask me the question. Hey, now that we're above 48 CBG, what do you see in the charts? $48 is the name of the game. Let's not drop below this $20 figure. Let's just call it $20. Stay above 20. Let's get above 48. Okay, this is when things are going to start to heat up, when we can get above and stay above on a cane to body close basis. $48. Now the next question, I'm working in reverse order. Wow, NT is a little drunk. Well, my friend, well, let me ask you this. Since you're a little tipsy this evening, I won't go for the personal questions. How about this, NT? What are we having to drink this evening? Are we mixing all of the liquors and the alcohols, or are we sticking with one main source? What is your drink of choice? Is it rum? Is it vodka? Is it tequila? Now, if you are in Russia, I don't know. Looks like actually the language that you're using looks like it reminds me of somebody that I know. It looks like the hell is it called? Oh my God, this is slipping me. I may be way off here. Is it, are you from Israel? Because that looks like, what the hell is the language that Israelis use? I forget now. I apologize. I forget what the language is. Completely forgetting. This is what happens when you're live. You forget stupid shit. All right, let me look in reverse order here. So we did Zcash. Chris Daly once again wants to know when XLM is going to moon. Chris, just to let you know, $25 probably won't happen in our lifetime, but well, you know what? Maybe it'll happen in our lifetime. But like, I don't know how old you are, but I'll probably be kicking it off on some island. Like, I will own that island. I will have my family live with me on the island. I will have I'm envisioning this beautiful woman in my life. And she will be with me. I'm completely fantasizing right now, but I will own that island by the time XLM gets to $25. XDC, let's take a look at XDC. Kathleen, I appreciate the question. I also, as I always say, Kathleen, I really always appreciate the consistent support on your end. It really is very well received on my end. Yeah, so what I was saying about XDC, look, I feel great about what I'm invested in. So feel bad, don't feel bad. But, I mean, this would have been a great trade opportunity. Now, a lot of the a lot of the trade opportunities, and I was just on the phone today with somebody speaking about a potential collaborative relationship about this. A lot of the trade ideas that I look for, they're very consistent on a lot of these charts, okay? Especially when you go down to the lower time frame, oftentimes what you see on a lot of these charts, there's two main things that I have seen. One are falling wedges, and two is bullish divergence. Now in this case, what we had on, look at this. This is a 2-week time frame. We had bullish divergence on a 2-week time frame, okay? When bullish divergence reveals itself on a higher time frame, that lends itself to even that much more of a credible picture in terms of that play playing out, okay? It's one thing if you see bullish divergence on a 4-hour time frame. If you see it on a 2-week or a weekly time frame, guys, that is statistically an awesome position to enter to work in your favor. Now, what happened here is the bullish divergence panned out. We broke above a key level of resistance at that point, which was 4.5 cents. And what I really like to see, let's actually go to the weekly. Let's get off the price indicators. You can see the bullish divergence here. This has been here for a very long period of time. We actually have on this channel, we have covered XDC many times. And we have covered the bullish divergence. And what have I reiterated to you? If you're in this thing, if you're looking to establish a position, be patient, guys. Just because bullish divergence reveals itself doesn't mean it needs to pan out this week or next week. Hold the position, hold the trade, and until something invalidates it, stay patient. This is what can happen. We went up. This is how fast the market moves. We went up. Where are we at? Come on, TradingView. Where are you at, brother? There we go. We went up from this line 135%. I mean, come on, guys. And here's how I would have played the trade if we didn't talk about it. I'm sure on some live stream we covered this. You can see the break. As we started to get at 4.5 cents, I would have, if I was in down here, I would have sold some of my position here, and I would have sold some of my position here. And you can see that we wicked above 6.8 cents and we couldn't get above it. So I would have sold some here, and left some on the table. Okay, so technically I may still have some left on the table right now and still be up almost 100%. Okay. You can't catch the top, you can't catch the bottom, but what you can do is you can use sound risk management strategy in order to profit from a trade. Keep in mind when trading, and I'm not talking about investing right now, when trading, and even in investing, this can work too. In trading, you could have 10 trades go bad, and you could have 2 trades go right and still wash out or go positive. It's all about risk management. It doesn't matter the count, okay? It matters the size. Now, some women will tell you, though, that size does not matter. I've heard some differing things on this, but in my experience, no, let's not go off the... Actually, it's all about... there are more things than size. We're not going to have that conversation on this live stream, but there are a lot more things to factor in than the size of the gain. There are a lot more things that factor in, but on the success strategy of that. But in this case, we blew right past 4.5 cents. We wicked above. This live stream is getting really interesting today. I had someone tell me today that they were going to check out some of my live streams to get a flavor for who I was. This is not the live stream to do that. Maybe it is the live stream to do that. I don't know. But right now, Kathleen, let's kind of get back to charting here. On the weekly, I don't even want to focus on price indicators, quite honestly. This chart, because we've taken a look at this several times, I actually think this chart is laid out very cleanly, okay? What I mainly want to see from XDC, this looks awesome. This chart is a beautiful, and I know we've looked at this. This is graphically a very beautiful chart. This is, again, as I always say on this channel, this is probably the sexiest thing I have looked at all day, okay? We broke out from the descending resistance here. What we've done, this is awesome. You see how we couldn't get above this area of resistance at 4.5 cents? We crushed it, like everyone should be crushing the thumbs up button. We crushed it. Now what I want to see from XDC, the main thing, let's just stay above 4.5 cents. That's all. Be patient. Stay above 4.5 cents. The next area is 6.8 cents and then 9 cents. Okay? But this chart is in the middle of a reversal. You should, as long as the chart remains bullish, you should expect something like this. Okay? And just don't pay attention to the time frame, but this is the general idea. Why am I drawing lines on this chart like a kindergartner in this fashion? Because at the end of the day, what do we want to do? We want to create higher lows and higher highs. Those, as I always say, are the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative. Okay? So very simplistically stated, Kathleen, if you're an XDC, first off, if you're invested in XDC, you got a great chart here. I mean, this is, like, in all seriousness, this is one of the best charts I've evaluated on this channel. Okay, so I think from a technical standpoint, I don't know a ton about the fundamentals. I haven't evaluated. I don't have all the time in the world to evaluate every project that everyone brings my way. I know that Nick, who I respect a lot, I have a lot of respect for Ncash Official. I know that he's into this project. Just based on the fact that he's so exuberant and passionate about this project, I have no doubts that it's a great project, okay? Because I trust him a lot, actually. So I'm sure it's a great from a fundamental perspective. But from a I'm just speaking from a technical perspective. From a technical perspective, the chart looks awesome, right? Now, Kathleen, when will things start to get really interesting? When we get here. We still got to get up to like 12 cents. Because why do I say that? Well, look at this. There's like literally not much price confluence in 12 cents. Once we start to close above 12 cents, Kathleen, XDC is primed to create new all-time highs and go up. So that's what I'm seeing in the chart. Very, very healthy chart. Appreciate the question. Nick, PMB. All right, we got one more question, and I know at least one more question. We're going close to an hour, guys. Guys, if you appreciate the fact that I have sacrificed my Friday evening to live stream with all of the people who I love in the crypto community, give me a thumbs up, all right? All right? Don't feel bad for me. Don't feel sorry for me. Show me some love. Because I need some love in my life, all right? We could all use some love in our life. We all need a lot of love in our life, right? A lot of love. A lot of love. More love. Less hate. Less hate. Less hate. More love. More love. Thank you. I just got a thumbs up based on that comment. Someone felt sorry for me. All right. Let's get into Tao. Tao. Fun fact, I used to know someone with that same first name. All right. And this is this Greg that asked this question? Yes, this is, I'm going to call you Black Oil from now on. Greg, your new name is Black Oil. I know that you have absolutely probably no idea what that means or what Black Oil, what TV show that is from, but I'm going to call you Black Oil. It's not in a bad way, by the way. It's actually in a positive way, because the Greg I know is a good guy. He's a very good guy, so it's actually a compliment. Wow. So, okay, Greg, I know why you've asked me this question. Look at this chart. Guys, this is a thing of beauty. Greg, well, I don't know if you are a thing of beauty, but Greg, thank you. I love when people on this channel bring charts to my attention that look like this. Guys, we've been charting this. Now, the reason, okay, do you see in the upper right-hand corner default, I open up when I have your TA questions. We're going to turn off the VPN because NordVPN is never going to be a sponsor of this channel. But I do use NordVPN. I do support them, but it's a bitch of a VPN sometimes. Slows down and makes things get funky. Angel's Envy, very good. So I want you to take notice when it says blank in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. What that means is that chart is designated for me to pull up to chart your questions, okay? Now, when I pull up a chart like this and it's pre-populated, what that means is we have taken a look at this chart before. And what I love to see is, guys, I'd have to go back, and I'd actually be curious. I don't know if I have time that I'll think about it in June. This is on a daily at the moment. At some point in here, we were looking at this chart because I drew out a falling wedge, okay? This is awesome. This is so great to see. I love to see charting patterns and things play out that we've spoken about. This brings me a lot of joy and happiness in life. So right here, what's great to see, now first off, we know a lot of projects that have had ICOs, they have this pattern. Look, Casper, I'm in Casper. Casper had this formation, and since it's had a trend reversal, this has had a massive trend reversal to the other side. It's fallen into a falling wedge. Alchemy Pay, check that chart out. It's in a falling wedge, and it has since broken out, guys. Very, very bullish. Very, very bullish. I love what I'm seeing in this chart. You can tell when I get very excited about a chart. Who the hell asked this question again? Greg. Greg, thumbs up to you, brother. Appreciate it. Just for that, I'm going to give you a follow on Twitter. DM me. Okay, so right now, we're above all of these areas of prior confluence. These are all support lines now. Well, I think we've charted this multiple times. I have a feeling we've charted this multiple times. Look at how, I mean, guys, I could not have drawn this area of resistance any better. I've got to give myself credit here. We have, look at this $86 area. It's $86.13, $86.13. It's 86 bucks, all right? We have a wick. We couldn't get through. We couldn't get through. The body's resting here. The body's resting here. The body couldn't get above. $86, Greg, is a major black oil. Excuse me, black oil. $86 is a major area of price confluence. Okay, major area of price confluence. But what I also love to see is we're maintaining a price area above 80 bucks. Ideally, Greg, I want to see price maintain itself above $80, 80 bucks, right? But what happens if we lose 80 bucks? Is all lost? Like, is it turning bearish? No, abso-fucking-tively not, okay? There are other areas of price confluence that we can look to, and I want to round these figures so that it's nice and easy. 75 bucks. 75 buckaroos and 70 bucks. So if we lose $80, the most bullish scenario, 80 bucks is maintained. Okay? 80 bucks here is maintained. If not, we still have another area between 75 and 70. What happens if we come down here? Who the hell cares, honestly? A low, a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, and we're just going to continue going up. A high, a higher high, a higher high. Guys, we are building the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative. It's funny how I've come up with these little catchphrases on this channel. The basic building blocks of a bullish narrative. Now, what about 86 bucks though? We've identified $86 as a major area of price confluence. CBG, can you do better than that? Of course I can fucking do better than that. I'll fucking do the best I can. It's what I do. This is absolutely mind-blowing. This is mind-blowing. 90, can I just make this 94? I just want to make it nice and round, okay? This may not touch perfectly. It's at 94.01. You see this price wick here? Again, whenever we want to identify areas of price confluence, how do we actually chart? How do I identify areas of price confluence? Well, we're all the way over here, right? We're all the way over here. What we do? Whoop, look left. Look at this wick right here. You see this wick? Right here. Look what happened over here. You can't make this shit up. 94. This hit 94.29. 94 is your next major area, Greg, of resistance. Definitely not support. Greg, what I want you to do, okay? Black oil. What I want you to do, my friend, when we break and maintain, when we get it, and what I mean is on a weekly candlestick, okay? Weekly. On a weekly candlestick, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when a weekly candlestick closes at, We're above $94. Come on back, my friend. Come on back, because we're going to have a fun conversation. Because once we break $94 with conviction, we close above it. We're going to be close to a blue sky breakout. Blue sky breakout. What other comments and questions do we have in here? We got one drunk dude in the live stream. We got NT here. He's having himself a good time. Brother, just stay safe, all right? Stay safe, all right? Stay safe. And be safe. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go into that. But just be safe. Saturday morning at the Ruse, landmate. Cheers to you all, nevertheless. You must be, are you, Ricky, are you located in, Ricky, you're located in Australia, huh? I love, you know, one of the things I really appreciate in all seriousness, thumbs up if you appreciate the content and the authenticity of the channel and just me being myself. One of the things, I think the thing I actually appreciate most about YouTube and about Twitter, it has enabled me, and this is crazy actually to think about, it has enabled me to share content with people in every country of the world. There are people looking at charts I share, videos of me talking, and I'm able to help educate them when I never would have had a vehicle to do that. I am literally able to help people in whatever way possible via means that I never would have otherwise had the opportunity to do. And that inspires me and it makes me feel really good. And I'm just happy to see people tuning in from all over the motherfucking world. Russian vodka. How did I fucking know? Hebrew. Hebrew is the language I was thinking of. Is your name in Hebrew, NT? Hebrew. Russian vodka, huh? I know somebody else that likes vodka that is Israeli and speaks Hebrew. So I thought that was Hebrew right there. Ned, you are in the house. Did you see my SLP update? If you didn't, rewind. Just got back from the gym and ready to watch some Crypto Alpha. Ned, I need some Smooth Love Potion. Yes, and I hope you caught the update on the daily because I neglected to share something with you yesterday. I felt bad about that, so I updated you. It's a bullish, by the way. It's very bullish, right? It's a bullish. And by the way, I'm happy to hear you were at the gym. There is no better place to be, all right? I mean, because I work remote, if I didn't go to the gym every day and see people, I would probably go fucking nuts. Because I just told someone the other day, I only really have a handful of few friends that I really like converse with regularly, I would hang out with. Just like a handful, just a few people. Acquaintances, like gym bros, gym buddies, they can be male, female, whatever. Like gym acquaintances, oh, I have a fuck ton of those people. I know everybody in the gym. I literally know like everyone, all right? But friends and acquaintances are much different. So cheers to you for getting in the gym. Your position there after 10 to 20 years. Brother, you need to make sure you drink up on some water, okay? Have some water. Water is very healthy for you. See? Water. I got the bourbon, but I have water. Everything is passion. Wow, you are having yourself a good old-fashioned time. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, man. Holly! Oh, my God, Holly's in the house. Yeah, I have not seen you in a long time. Well, I mean, I haven't seen you. I have no idea what you look like, but you know what I mean. I'm glad to see you in the live stream. I haven't seen you in a long time. You've also been a very long time supporter of the channel, and I appreciate that. I'm glad to see you in the live stream, and I hope you're appreciating the content. Glad to see you. Authenticity and transparency, CBG. Keep it up, brother. Thanks for sharing your knowledge, man. No better positive feedback I could get, man. NT, have yourself, yes. Get off the vodka. Let's get off the vodka train. Take this. Put it down. Take this. And drink up. Okay? You need to sober up, my friend. All right. but I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm not a controlling person. Let's see. I'm at 13,729 followers on Twitter. I could not do that without the help of you guys. I appreciate all of the support. Ooh. Generally, it's 3 sneezes. That was only 2. God bless me. Oh, okay. So you're working during the time of the live streams, huh, Holly? Well, look. You got to make bread, right? And that's the most important thing. So whether you're catching the live streams live or you're watching in syndication, guys, I just appreciate that you tune in. I really mean that. And whenever you do tune in, I'm not doing this to be irritating. I now understand what it means to be a content creator. Again, the more if you appreciate the content, that is, the more you can hit the thumbs up, the more you can drop a comment in any of the live streams. What that does for me, it's like an AI algorithm at YouTube. If you're hitting the thumbs up and you're dropping a comment, what it's going to do is increase the likelihood. It's a statistically higher significance of getting the content out to more people. I would really appreciate that. It would mean a lot. Oh, you work in real estate. Do you live, you know what? Maybe you don't want to share this, but for some reason, Holly, I recollect that you are located in Arkansas. Is that correct? You're located in Arkansas. For some reason, that sticks out to me. Could be wrong, but I do follow you on Twitter. You are a longtime supporter of the channel, so I wanted to show you a little love as well. Jesus. NT, I'm going to have to mute you soon. Careful, my friend. Chris, do you still believe in one? Chris, let me answer that question by you looking behind me. Do you see anything behind me? Have I taken that down? I have the Holy Crypto Trinity. I have Decentraland, I have Harmony One, and I have HBAR. Let me answer that question directly by saying yes. Ozarks, yes, I remember that because of the TV show. Okay. I remember because of a very, very good TV show. I really enjoyed that. I'm actually rewatched that one. Wow, we've been on the live stream for a while now. Chris, to answer your question, let me look right in the camera. Yes, I still believe in Harmony One. Have they been through a lot of shit? Yes, that bridge hack was horrendous. Has there been a lot of negative information spread about Harmony? Yes. And my honest take on that is some of it, I'm sure, is true. And some of it is just salty people. It's a mix of both. One of the things, I'll give you some transparency here because I actually tweeted this out. God. I had tweeted this out. Everyone's tuning out now. They can tell it's the end of the live stream. Stick around for a little bit longer. I'm going to share some information with you. I have wanted to do an interview with Steven, who is the founder of Harmony One. And I found out from someone who actually, you know what? Now that I'm saying this, I'm going to follow up with him. I found out who to reach out to. Someone said someone else's name. He was gonna share it with the Harmony team. They have not gotten back to me. And look, I'm some little guy. I'm some little YouTuber. I know I'm sure he is very busy. Like, I'm not, I don't think he has all the time in the world to do independent interviews with people he has no idea who they are. But I think it would actually bring, I would come very well prepared. I'd give him a heads up too. I'd say, hey, in generality, this is what I'm looking to do. I'm certain, looking to ask you some questions on the project and just on the progress of things and what your view is of certain things. I'm not going to give him I wouldn't give him the questions in advance. That I would not do. But I would have a conversation with him and, let him know sort of the direction of what the interview would be like. And I wouldn't throw any curveballs at him or anything like that. I'm a huge supporter of the project. What I would aim to do with that interview, if I had the opportunity to interview Steven, is to help bring a fair, honest, but what I view would be a positive light on the project. Let's keep things honest. Let's keep things real. But I think what could come out of that discussion is an authentic, genuine conversation regarding the project. Some things that maybe, let's be honest, may have transpired in the past, but we've learned from it. We've moved on. What are some challenges and learning opportunities from that? And what is on the horizon? What exciting things are on the horizon? I do not think that project is dead. I don't think that there's way too much technological innovation on that project for me to believe for one moment that thing is dead. I think they've certainly gone through some speed bumps. You could do studies on many technology companies that have overcome a lot of obstacles, and I think they have the opportunity to do the same thing. And I think it would bring a lot of positivity and shine a positive light on the project if I had the opportunity to do an interview with him. So I'm hoping at some point I can do an interview with him. Now that would be a great example of something on my channel, which is mainly a TA-driven channel, where I would be able to interview someone and it would be more of just a real conversation surrounding the fundamental nature of the project. I can have those conversations. I'm not as fundamentally and technically savvy and well-versed as a lot of people in this space. They can start having conversations where my brain would spin. But I know enough. I definitely know enough that I could hold my own in many respects and have a conversation. So I would welcome that opportunity. But as far as Harmony One, Hedera Hashgraph, HBAR, Decentraland Mana, the Metaverse, all three projects I think are. I still believe all three projects are very well positioned. That is my honest view. If I was ever invested in a project or supported a project and felt otherwise, and you asked me about it, and I felt otherwise, I would tell you guys. I would always be 100% authentic with you, okay? Just like I'll always go back to my sushi swap trade, okay? The sushi swap, trades that I had out there, the ideas that I shared fucking fell apart. Did not work out. It's probably, I think that's the worst charting information I put out there that didn't pan out. It's not that at the time there wasn't logic and I didn't feel good about it at the time. It's not anything that behind it that wasn't sound and logical. It didn't work out. And I stand behind my technical analysis. I stand behind any research I do in support of a project from a fundamental perspective. And if something doesn't work out, guys, we're all human. Like we can't, if we all had made 100% of our calls correct, we would all be bazillionaires and we'd all be drunk right now like NT celebrating. But we're not. So let's see what else we got here. You're welcome, Chris. France! This is what I'm talking about, man. You get so many people in here. You got so many people in here from so many countries. Now that I've said sushi swap, and NT is dropping a comment about sushi, I'm a little hungry for sushi. I got to be honest with you. Maybe I'll get some sushi this weekend. This is starting to make me think. All right, guys, that's all I have. Real quick, before you sign out, first off, I see that the live stream has a few more, it has a little bit more activity than it normally does. So I wanted to thank everyone for tuning in, first and foremost. And secondly, I wanted to bring to your attention Monday. Very, very, very important day on Monday. I have a feeling that's going to turn into a pretty long live stream because we have two things occurring on Monday I want to bring to your attention. Number one, we have monthly closes on all of the charts. And number two, we have 2-week candlestick body closes or 2-week candle closes that we can actually cover. That'll close out on Sunday. But I don't think I'm going to live stream Sunday night. So we can actually take a look at 2-week charts. We can take a look at monthly charts. Now, the 2-week charts will actually be nice to take a look at because if you would think about this intuitively, what is a 2-week chart? It's essentially half of a month. What is half of a month on a chart? It doubles the price action. So on projects, and I'll give Harmony One as an example, where there isn't as much price data, we can look at a monthly. You can still discern something from Harmony and HBAR on a monthly or Mana. But a 2-week, it now doubles the price action and we can get a lot more from it. So I think we can take a look at 2-week charts. We can take a look at monthly charts. And I think Monday's live stream will be very good. So make sure that you tune in for Monday's live stream. That will be at approximately 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that's when the candle sticks close out for the monthly and monthly basis. Holly, good to see you too. I haven't heard from you in a while, and I'm thinking of people who used to tune into the channel I haven't heard in a while. Holly, I haven't heard from you in a while. It's good to hear from you. John, I'm still waiting on fucking John. John, where are you at, brother? Where the hell are you at, John? I don't know, man. I think I lost you. I think you unsubscribed. I don't know. But guys, I appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to get to my lame-ass dinner that I'm going to make and chill and watch a movie and relax, because I've been in front of work computer screens and crypto computer screens all day. So until next time, everybody, spread awareness and carry the education forward. Take care. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday. NT sober up. So.